Hi, Star Fam. Welcome to another reading for the collective. Let's get started with a Keeper of the Light card. Everybody's doing great. Hope you're enjoying your winter, almost winter, Sagittarius season, whatever. All right, Most High God, what does the Star Fam collective need to know in this reading? All right. Dwell cool, Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. This message has been really important to me over the last couple of years. The idea that you're on a path and what's required of you is to take one step at a time. There's another quote that comes from the reading in the booklet about this card, and it's talking about how life is unfolding like one part at a time. So, and that you're only, I don't know if it says responsibility or duty or whatever, but it says your only, let's say duty, your only duty is to be happy or something like that. So I find this card really significant because for me, it lets me know that like the spiritual path is not an easy one to walk. There is a lot of isolation and persecution and obstacles and demons and just really irritating, dumb shit like that. You can even have people around you who are supposed to be supportive and helpful of you being like jealous or working against you, that whole Judas thing. And you can be trying to pull people up who are lower vibrational than you and they are trying to pull you down. So there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. Energetically, it's a huge burden. And I think only the bravest, strongest souls incarnate to be spiritual leaders and teachers, because it's just not for the weak. It's just really not. You can't be a coward. You can't fall to sin. You can't be lost in your ego. It's a lot to work through to get to a point where a soul is capable of doing the right thing anyway. And what I like about this Dharma unfolding card for myself is that it reminds you that you don't have to do the entire mission at any given moment. You can work on like 1 hour of one day of the mission, and that can be what you're focused on and what you take responsibility for at a time. And just working on that one thing, it's like a stepping stone. So once you work on that one thing, it's like the next step appears for you, and then you'll work on that next one, and then the next one appears. So it's like it is a long path, it is a difficult road to choose to walk. I mean, it's worth it because it's kind of like the metaphor of the shepherd and the sheep. Like somebody has to look out for the flock, right? You can't expect the flock to look out for itself. It's just, again, it takes really strong souls to be able to be spiritual leaders and spiritual teachers. Um, but it is quite an overwhelming thing. So if you just focus on that one small step in front of you and you remember that you're not here to be miserable, it can seem like that. I mean, that's the mirror inverse reality, right? That like life is awful and earth is a prison and we're all just here to suffer. But that's superimposed. That's not natural. That's not how things should be in their natural state. So while you're here and you're doing this super difficult job and you've become this very brave soul in order to do that job in this lifetime, it can feel overwhelming. But the thing about the Dharma unfolding message is to take one step at a time, but also as you're taking that one step and you're making that your focus, don't feel that you need to be miserable doing it. Like we're not required to be miserable while we're helping. we can be joyful, we can be at peace while we're helping. In fact, I feel like that's better. It's a better system. But yeah, so you might want to look into Dharma and maybe do some what are those called? Self-assessments about what your Dharma is. I know there's a lot of great books on Dharma and how to find your Dharma and how to work on your Dharma and stuff like that. So that might be something that, if it resonates with you, collective, look into that. Let's get some Kuan Yin Oracle and get another message. Hang on. Okay. All right. God, what Kuan Yin Oracle card does the collective need? Oil on the table. All right. Don't worry, it's healing oil. So let me mix things better. Okay. Sister of Shambhala, put your faith in the light and believe that good things can happen and will happen. We do not need to deny darkness, but nor do we need to place our minds there. There are lighter dwelling places into which our minds can settle. Trust in the spring that follows the winter. It's ironic because we're in winter now. I don't know if you can see that. I want to zoom in on it. It's very cute. She's jumping. She's got a stick and some kind of rope or something on it in her hand. She's wearing a wintry coat. And it looks like a cloudy sky, a snowy field, and then there's all these sheep around her, which is ironic because I was just talking about sheep, but that's how spirit works. It stitches together all these unrelated things with synchronicity, and then you go, oh, yeah, that's what she meant. So you might be a shepherd, collective. This resonates with you. And Dwell Cool is an excellent, I don't know what you're into. So everyone's different, but Dwell Cool is an excellent spirit guide, an excellent teacher. So you might want to look into him as well. I remember one of the things that is in the booklet about him is that he appears at a time when you are working on a specific spiritual path. So he kind of shows up at, he might not be there with you your whole life as a spiritual teacher or a guide, but he'll show up when you decide to, I don't know, get into reflexology or something like that. Then he would show up and work with you on that path until you are a master of reflexology kind of thing. So you might want to look into him. Let's get some tarot from the Wizard's Tarot. Right. What does the collective need to know? Four of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. This could be a money path. Nine of Wands. And Eight of Swords. All right, let's get a bit more. What do you mean by Four of Pentacles? Two of Swords. What do you mean by Eight of Pentacles? The Queen of Wands in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse. you've been feeling unable to let go or unsure of what decision to make. And this could be regarding your work, something to do with a feminine energy in the reverse. Someone who is destructive, aggressive, witchy, and something to do with your recognition, not blocking, like either blocking your recognition or not wanting you to be recognized for your hard work. Please clarify 9 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, all right, please clarify 8 of Swords, Page of Cups. So some kind of offer. So maybe trying to keep you from an offer or make you feel trapped or trap you so you don't get an offer or make an offer. And then the 9 of Wands would be the Wounded Warrior, that Chiron energy, maybe Sagittarius. And the 10 of Pentacles, which is like wealth, stability, long-term abundance, legacy, investments. Oh. And on the bottom of the deck is the King of Wands in the upright. So maybe while you've been working, there's been a feminine energy that's been trying to stop you from reaping the rewards or getting the, what's that called? Not appreciation, acknowledgement, getting the acknowledgement that you deserve. Maybe you've had a difficult time trying to get to the 10 of Pentacles. I don't know. The King of Wands, so like this would be the counterpart to the Queen of Wands if she was in the upright, but she's not. And the fact that it's clarifying 8 of Pentacles means it has something to do with your work, collective. So I don't know if you know this King of Pentacles or if you're this King of Pentacles. Gold. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is a masculine fire energy. The world represents completing a cycle or like the universe blessing you in some way. It's auspicious. It's, I think, considered the most auspicious card. 3 of Swords would be heartbreak or some kind of third-party situation or lies. 5 of Cups would be regret. 6 of Pentacles would be giving to others or receiving from others. Again, something to do with your work or your independence. Something you've been working on a long time. It's the truth. And we have the Devil, the Judgment, the Emperor, Queen of Swords, and Chariot. I feel like this has something to do with your past. Maybe something you dealt with in the past. Maybe they've been creating a lot of drama or obstacles. Maybe they've been the obstacle in your path, collective. I don't know. All right, let's get some clarification from the Sacred Forest Oracle. All right. What does the collective need to know about this situation? Wood Nymph Beauty. Let me just put them here. Okay, what else? Transmute Phoenix Transmutation. Oops. Moonlight Enchantment Magic. This reading is really weird. Okay, and Fire Spirit Energy. These two came out around Halloween. Okay, collective. Here's what I think is happening, or has happened, because this could be in the past. It sounds like with Dwell showing up and the whole shepherd thing, it seems like you're starting, not, I wouldn't say a new path, I'd say you are stepping into a leadership role, is what I would say. But it seems like whatever you were holding on to, or whoever was holding on to you, maybe trying to create some confusion, I think it has something to do with your appearance. So maybe they were trying to damage your self-esteem or the way that you feel about yourself, or whatever. Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Wands in reverse, and then there's the Queen of Wands in reverse. So maybe they thought that they could, if your self-esteem was damaged, you wouldn't step into this leadership role, and you wouldn't get the recognition and, you know, that Phoenix, new energy, new you. Like, it's more than recognition, though. It's whatever was within you is meant to grow, is meant to transform into better versions of itself. Like when you learn how to coach someone, and then you become a coach yourself and you work on coaching people, after a few years of that, you're a lot better at coaching and being a coach than you were several years back when you were learning how to coach. So it's not that you ever were not a coach, it's just that it was a path of, like a dharma, it was a path you were walking down and getting closer and closer to embodying that thing, right? Because you have to grow things within you, right? So, and then the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I think maybe there was a group that thought that they could gang up and block your Ten of Pentacles or take your Ten of Pentacles, which is, I mean, ridiculous. It's up to God what people get and how things play out. It's not up to people. You can't just go and steal your neighbor's car because you like it better than your own car. I mean, you can physically do those things. You can use your free will to choose and actually do those things. But there is always a consequence because you're breaking laws, you're breaking rules, right? And we have those for a reason. And then Eight of Swords, like that trapped feeling, the confused feeling. What I always think about with the Eight of Swords is that with all those swords, like, you know, in the movies where the person has their hands tied and then they like find like a blade or I don't know, like a knife or a sharp piece of metal or something, and then they start like sawing the rope off on the metal. This is what the Eight of Swords always gives me. It's like you seem tied up, but the swords that they've put around you to sort of pen you in actually are the things that you can use to unbind yourself, to free yourself and get out. And then you have 8 swords you can pick up and use if you need to. And then that's the Page of Cups. So I think that has to do with, maybe they thought they would make you feel blinded or trapped to your true path, your true leadership role. Um, and maybe magic had played a part in this Nine of Wands energy. And this is giving me that, like, the offer, this beautiful Page of Cups, creative energy, this offer friendship or like apology or something. Um, it's also giving me like new beginnings. It might have to do with this embodying of your energy, because again, if you step into that leadership shepherd role of your dharma, then you are harnessing your energy the way you are supposed to, because it's part of your mission, right? Okay, let's get some more of these conscious spirit oracles. What else does the collective need to know? Whoa. Okay. All right, so this is the first card in the Conscious Spirit Oracle deck. And I saw this image on the internet like, I don't know, 7 years ago, something like that. And I was obsessed with it because to me, this was really about my mission, right? It really resonated with me that the heart chakra, the green healing energy, the planet Earth, the connection to source, the earth angel, like you're a spiritual being having a human experience type of thing. Anyway, it says, I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. And then after, so I really love this image and I think I printed it. And then sometime, I don't know, within the next year or two, I ordered the deck online and I got the deck. And the deck's great. But this image still is super important to me because it, for me on a personal level, the image itself entails like what we're here to do as earth angels. We're here to heal ourselves, like level up and heal the planet and help it level up. Like it's supposed to be a co-creation between high vibrational beings who are embodying that spirit and earth energy, right? Because you have to ground in the 5D vibration to the earth. But also it says, I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. And after working with this deck and this message for a little while, I met with this seer, and he very much believed that we are here to work. We are here as souls come to help heal ourselves and others, and that is our work here, our dharma here. And he said to me that I needed to take my mission and make it my lifestyle. And I really didn't understand at the time how deep that would go. Because when he said that to me, I thought, oh, lifestyle, like, you know, like how your place looks, like how it's, you know what I mean? Like what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of hobbies you do, like those kinds of things. But I think what I learned over the years since is that you have to support yourself too. So you have to heal yourself too. So like if you're the type of person who someone would come to you and they'd say, again, as a shepherd, right? Someone would come to you and they'd say, oh, I'm so stressed at work. It just makes me feel very sick and like I'm really upset and I don't know what to do. And you are the type of person who would tell that person, well, maybe you need to decompress. Maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you need downtime. Maybe you need to meditate. Maybe you need to meet with a doctor. Maybe you need to see a therapist, get some counseling, talk that stuff out. Maybe you should journal. Maybe you should start a dream book, a dream log, whatever. But then when you yourself had problems being stressed at work, you would just kind of feel the stress. To me, what I've learned is that you really have to reparent yourself, but you also really need to be your own best friend. And you also need to understand that if something is good advice for someone else, it not isn't necessarily, but it very likely could be good advice for you too. Like, get more sleep, journal, see a therapist, go for a walk, like spend time in nature. If it's something you would recommend to someone else who's going through something that you too are going through, then you might want to make time to do it more yourself. And I mean, we're all busy, and obviously you can't be perfect and you can't do every single thing that in a perfect world you would do for optimal well-being and everything, but it's about caring. So caring that you might need rest. So you might say, like, okay, I'm an earth angel, I'm here to help people, I'm, heart chakra, I'm love, I'm giving and receiving, but I'm exhausted, like I feel like I never have any time to myself or whatever. This card would be telling you, like, you also need to receive, you also need downtime, you also need rest, you also need healing, right? Like, healers need to constantly heal. And even once we've healed stuff in the past, we're healing new stuff that's happening on a regular basis, right? So you need to also rest. You need to also take care of yourself. You need to also schedule in things that benefit you and that feed your soul. Like, don't let your cup get empty. Collective, make sure you're filling your own cup, and that when your cup feels empty, you pull back and withdraw from pouring out of that cup, right? Until you feel recharged again. So it's not just about knowing what's the right thing to do, it's also about giving yourself the same care that you would give someone else. And by doing that, you are able to embrace your soul purpose and align all aspects of your life to it fully. So no one is expecting perfection from you. And as a human being, you may never be perfect or get everything right or have like everything that should be ticked off your list. But this is talking more about, like, the shepherd that takes care of the sheep. He needs to sleep. Okay, so when the sheep are sleeping, he should also give himself a comfortable place to sleep. When he's feeding the sheep, he also needs to eat because he's going to be doing a lot of walking with them. And so it's like you can have the role of a shepherd and be walking the path of a shepherd, but as you're taking care of your flock, you also need to prioritize your own care and take care of yourself too. And if you've had people working against you or trying to throw you off or tell you, like, you're not this or you're not that, or stop you from leveling up or becoming the leader that you're meant to be, then that's even more reason to give yourself even more love and even more grace and even more rest, so that you're in a process of alignment, right? Like, the idea is you will get pushed out of alignment, but then keep returning to alignment. You get pushed out of alignment, then keep returning to alignment. If you were going to take a nap and then you weren't able to take a nap, that doesn't mean that you give up on naps. It just means that you try again another time. So it's about moving back into the alignment, right? Returning to the alignment. All right, running out of time. Let's get we'll get a couple of these Archangels and Gemstone Oracle cards. All right, what does the collective need to know? This one wants to come out. Ariel. Archangel Ariel. My light shines brightly. I'm self-confident and recognize my value and worth. other people also recognize my value and worth. I shine the light of compassion, kindness, and love from my heart. Sunstone. Have you ever been feeling down in the dumps? Do you need some enthusiasm? This is a time of prosperity and purpose. Step into your power and be all that you were meant to be. Exactly. You are aligned with the magnificence and the courage to show your splendor. And I'll get you a herbiary card. Oh, I forgot to get you a mermaid card. Oh. All right, well, let's get you a mermaid card then. And then I'll get you a herbiary. All right, what message from the Oracle of the Mermaids does the collective need? Sisterhood. Friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. Get one more. Oops. Yemaya. Origins, freedom, power. I don't know much about Yemaya, but I did have this like goddess oracle or something deck. I gave it to someone, but Yemaya was in there, and what I remember about her was that she was water and earth. So she's healing and cleansing energy, but she's also like a stability, like a earthly grounded stable energy. So maybe you would benefit from going to bodies of water, hanging out at the beach, lakes, things like that. So Spirit Awakens is clarified by sisterhood, friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. So maybe on this Dharma, you are going to meet your soul tribe or like-minded individuals, or maybe just one person that you become very close with, an ally perhaps. And Sunstone, you are aligned with the magnificence and the courage to show your splendor, and Yemaya, origins, freedom, and power. So this might be a very empowering experience for you, stepping fully into this leadership role. And again, the Dwell-Cool energy is that it's one step at a time. So it's like a slow process to fulfill your Dharma. But you can always start and take it one step at a time. The path is always unfolding before you. All right, and let's leave you with a herbiary card. So it looks like it wants to come out. Spirit into matter, Trillium. So this might be a period of you manifesting what previously was beginning, like you were working on it, but now you might be embodying it more fully. Okay, collective, that was your reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and come back for another reading in the future. All right, thanks. Take care. Bye.